The big theme for 2017 will be a lot more news regarding the banning of cash and the removal of high denomination notes. Last year was the year of the subject of cash outside the banking system became a primary target by the mainstream media as well as frowned upon by governments and central banks alike. In 2016 alone, former Secretary of Treasury Larry Summers called for the U.S. to do away with the $100 bill. Former chief economist for the IMF, Kenneth Rogoff, published his book, The Curse of Cash. The New York Times and Financial Times publicly endorsed a ban on cash, and Fed Chair Janet Yellen during a Q&A session said cash is not a convenience store of value. Of course, the above items are simply propaganda in words, but 2016 was featured many major actions as a war on cash, and it's very concerning. The seventh largest countries in the world by GDP, India, banned physical cash in denominations that comprise of over 85% of all outstanding bills. This move was a political disaster. However, no one was forced out of office, and the legislation still remains in place. The message the powers that be wanted us to get was that you can get away with this kind of thing, even in a country in which physical cash is still the dominant form of currency. Venezuela has since followed suit. Any bill that is worth more than 3 cents at the Bolivar note. Outrage. But the Maduro regime still remains in power, and no one was forced out of office over this matter.
Put simply, 2016 was the year in which the seventh and the 33rd largest nations by GDP went effectively cashless. And no one lost their jobs over that matter. More importantly, most of the Western world knows little, if anything, about it at all. You can imagine the glee the elites felt witnessing this, particularly in countries in which 50% plus transactions no longer involve physical cash. After all, the only thing these people do worry about is losing power and their jobs. Provided no one is kicked out of office as a consequence, any policy, no matter how terrible, is considered viable to the monetary elite. Which is why 2017 will shape up to be the year of more global cash bans. Numerous developed nations such as France, Spain, Denmark, and Sweden have already banned cash in one way or another. This year, expect to start seeing more policies pushing for a complete ban on cash in more countries until it eventually reaches your doorstep. Take time, get informed, know what's going on, and take action.